working?
You know, I did for a really long time, like 22 years. So that's probably...
Because, yeah, you're always here promoting something that you've done. Do you ever have time off?
Well, after True Blood was done, I kind of took my belated maternity leave.
Oh, yeah.
How belated?
Well, I had the babies after season 5.
Right.
And then we did season 6 and season 7. Like 3 months after I gave birth kind of thing. So that was sort of like quite a short...
You were owed a trip.
Well, I was owed a little bit of bonding time with my own children.
Right.
And so my husband was working in Wales, and so we moved to Wales for basically like 6 months, which was so beautiful.
Oh my! Oh,
yes, I was gonna say, and there's some pictures. I couldn't find any pictures of the daffodils, but it was daffodil season. That's our dog, who eats everything.
So beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's stunning. It's stunning. And it's, you know, the medieval castles, and their national animal is a dragon, and
No kidding.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
The national animal is a dragon? So there's dragons there?
Yes.
And you took your kids. That is
I was like, and I have toddlers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
You fear nothing.
Also, Daddy was shooting a show that was set in medieval Wales, so Daddy had a castle at Orphan.
Oh my gosh.
So that was like, oh, Daddy Castle?
Daddy Castle.
Did you feel?
Except Daddy's castle was only actually a front. There was no back on it. But they've seen very odd things on the True Blood set, so like that wasn't the weirdest thing.
That's true. I'm thinking about that. Like they must have seen so much. 7 seasons of True Blood.
Well, they only were live for the last 2. But I mean, if you count the in utero experience, then they had a very odd early childhood.
Did you feel emboldened after your experiences on True Blood to face dragons and castles?
You know what? You mean mythical creatures?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I possibly should have like some kind of actual like accreditation from like mythical creature. Fantasy creature dealing with.
I mean, after 7 years on the show dealing with your mythical creatures, is there any like one moment that stands out for you?
X-Men.
Yes. Oh, that's true.
Also, like
lots of mythical creatures.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff that doesn't really exist. Like a lot of my make-believe really is
different acting because you want to be
absolutely. It's you know, you don't play it for the haha. If you don't commit to it, why is anybody else going to believe that really exists?
Right. You have to play it as real.
You play it completely seriously.
That's true.
Otherwise, it's a spoof.
Right. No, that's why you're so good.
Well,
listen, I'm thinking about you and the piano. Like that's the last time you played a regular person dealing with regular.
I played a few very damaged teenagers.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. Okay. Listen, we have to take a commercial break. We're gonna find out how Anna's new role may have changed history. So let's stick around. Which is a 4-night series, right? That is airing
Memorial Day and then the following 3 nights.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yes, it's an extraordinary reworking of the original book and miniseries. And I had the absolute pleasure of watching night 1 last night of the premiere, and I'm in night 4, and it's chillingly, amazingly good and upsetting and beautifully done, and the acting, it's just all, you know, and also just such an incredibly important period of history to be reminded of, and in a way that is just so beautifully told. You know?
You play Nancy Holt, and
my
character,
is she? Nancy is actually a fictional character, so she was not in the book or the original miniseries, but she is basically, because of the way that we are able to research things now historically, there's a lot more information available than at this point than there was when the original series or the book was written. So there's various characters and other elements that have been added to the story that were sort of compilations of people who really did exist, but were not specifically an actual person. So she is somebody who is she's a composite, and she kind of has this whole Southern slave-owning wife thing going on, but it's a little more complicated than that, so you'll have to watch.
It's just amazing to take that on. I mean, not just that role, but to jump into something like that.
Oh, it's intimidating.
So iconic.
I mean, it's so intimidating.
So I think you want to acknowledge what came before, but you want to do your own thing. Did you think about that? Did you watch?
Well, luckily for me, I I mean, first of all, because my character real. So there was
Blazing a new
yeah,
new,
like
new
so
trail.
I wasn't having to like go, okay, well that's what so and so did, and oh my God.
You could create this
Yes,
on your
exactly. Also, it was written when the original miniseries came out, and I grew up in New Zealand, so I mean, I knew what Roots was, and I understood that significance, sort of, you know, culturally and whatever, but I hadn't watched it until this came along. So this was the first time I was experiencing Roots.
Wow.
And so I basically sat in Wales and, you know.
Was there other research that the role entailed?
Probably traumatized my small children because they watched quite a lot of it with me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, watched.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then read Roots, which I had never done, and then an assortment of other books that were more specific to my character, which again I can't say too much about without completely ruining what's quite fantastic plot.
It just looks amazing.
It
looks
starts
incredible.
May 30th, 9 p.m. on History. Make sure you check out Anna